Peace to all the melanated family. Go ahead and start. Got a series of stuff that I'd like to show y'all.
Konnichiwa. Ni hao. Jumbo. Holito. Oseo. Mahobet. Shalom. Salam. Hola. Aloha. ¿Qué pasa? What's up? Whatever the greeting is in your respective language, I am your humble brother Crumb, here for another installation of Crumb TV. With that said, family, you know how I like to get things started. Let's just get this little commercial thing out the way. So, you already know where I'm at, family. I live in a virtual world that you can't find on Google Maps. It's called YouTube. If you live in that virtual world as well, called YouTube land, do me a favor, family, smash that subscribe button, Crumb TV. Now, I try to tell the family time and time again, this is not a universe, meaning one. This is a multiverse. Didn't they tell you in church that God is omnipotent? He exists in several places all at the same time?
That's right.
Well, that's kind of real. We are the gods. I not only reside in YouTube, but I simultaneously live in Instagram as well. If you live in Instagram world, give me a Grammy, family. Hit that follow button, Crumb TV _. Last but not least, in my father's house, there are many mansions. My biggest estate. Well, how do you get a mansion inside of a house? I don't know, family. I don't know. Somebody explained it to me and I forgot. But regardless, my biggest estate, my biggest house is on Facebook. I call it Racebook. What better place for your favorite races? If you live on Racebook, family, I'm asking humbly, hit that follow button, Crumb TV. Alright, so with that said, I want to get right into it. Exactly how I get into it. This is George Soros, exposed and destroyed. Usually I'll do an expose, sometimes I'll do the destruction of. Today I want to expose him and destroy him. So I did this video before, I had some technical difficulties and I said I wanted to do it again, so let's take another shot at it. Before I get into it, I gotta acknowledge the family because over here acknowledgement means everything to me. The first one, which this is not even number one, this is 0. On YouTube, they see my stuff before it actually happens. I don't know why that is, but it is dope. So, the YouTube family, Psych L Variety. He says, or she says, what's up, family? Crush the Zionists. I plan on doing that. But I want to say I gotta be careful because there's something called the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League. That means they can call you a nigger and nothing happens. But just like if you call somebody in the LBGT, ABCDQFG, if you call one of them a faggot, then you're going down for that, family. So the ADL doesn't operate for anyone except for Jewish people. So I have to watch what I say because they monitor everything. So if you say something wrong about them, they will drop the hammer on you. Don't get me wrong, you're free to say nigger. You're free to call a black woman a bitch. But when you start saying words like Zionist, you gotta be careful, family, because they have rights, they have respect, something that we don't have. But let's move on to see who number one really is. That was 0. Number one is Winnie Johnson. I've never seen this person in number one place, but I'm happy to have him. So he says, great afternoon, family. Indeed, a great afternoon it is. I gotta give that energy right back to you. Second place, I have my president of Youth Circle. I went to Alabama to be and break bread with the family. They showed me a good time. I will be back. I will be promoting. We will be building, nation building. It is my president, Leonard Lassiter Bay. He says, greeting royals. I'm saying greetings back to the president. I see you. I love you. Appreciate you. Third in the building, I have my brother from another mother, Winston Morgan. We had a couple issues. I haven't gone and quite fixed those and checked those and confirmed it, but that's my brother, and until proven 100% otherwise, he says bless, I'm saying bless back. I did have some issues with somebody on the internet who did attack me, and some people came on the internet and co-signed that, and I tried my best to keep those people away from me. So if you do go on the internet and attack me and come on my shit and try to be cool with me, I'ma blaze you, family. I don't do no turn the other cheek shit. We not doing that Christian shit over here. Over here, we take no prisoners, we kill all enemies. And if that is you, family, I have no problem in the spirit of Nat Turner sacrificing you to the sun god Ra. But until then, I give all of my love to all of my people. Now, as you know, I only do the trifecta, and the only exclusion is the people who came in on YouTube prior. But I want to break my rule for my sister, Sarah Poole. She comes in place number 4. I see her, I love her, I appreciate her. So, now that I've acknowledged the trifecta, and those before and after, let's get into it, family. This is George Soros exposed and destroyed. I'm about to get blocked. I might get executed after this one, family. Y'all gonna say, Crumb, you need to get off YouTube, get off Facebook, get off Instagram, because you can't speak the truth based on community standards. I'ma prove and show you why in just a moment. So, with that said, let's get right into it. Let me share this good screen with you right here. So, when we're dealing with the origins, because I know a lot of people, when Ponder did that video on etymology, on Juneteenth, a lot of you came to me with definitions, and I told you, kick rocks. Shout out to my brother from Kick Rocks. I told you, kick rocks, family. I don't care about definitions. Definitions change. They can change the definition tomorrow, and then you're going to be going with the new school definition simply because you are a Johnny-come-lately. If you subscribe to definitions, save it, family. Even, on behalf of Brother Ponder, if you approach Ponder talking about definitions, he's going to shut you down. So let's kind of get a little bit beyond definitions and deal with etymology of origins. So when you're dealing with Crumb always deals with the origins. That's where you're going to find the truth at, family, because things change beyond that. So, what are the origins of George Soros? George Soros started out in Budapest, Hungary. He's a Jew. His name is not George Soros. That's a fake name. That's his straw man. Shout out to all my Moors or anybody who may know what a straw man is. It's just a name that you go by in public. His family don't call him George. They call him by his real name. I'm not crying. I don't know why my right eye is watering. I have no idea. Anyway, so he's born. He's not even American. He's not American, family. He's an immigrant. He got his visa. He got a working visa. Okay. So now, with that said, when we're dealing with George Soros, his origins are as a Nazi. Now, if you go and try to fact check me, if you go to Snoops, if you go to We're Gonna Find the Truth About George Soros or wherever, it's going to tell you he's not a Nazi. That's all lies. But here's the catch, family. Press 1 if you understand when you got money, you can change a lie to the truth. When you got press 1 if you understand you can buy the truth on Snoops.com. Snoops.com aren't people who are above money. If you go to Snoops.com and offer them a certain amount of money, they will say that, whatever you want to be fake is fake, and whatever you want to say is real is real. So if you go to Snoops, it'll say that he's not a racist. He's not a Nazi, but I'm going to give you a receipt. Snoops is not a receipt. Snoops is simply the troglodytes and the coons that they pay doing whatever it is, doing master's bidding for the right price. So shout out to everybody who believes in Snoops. If you thought they were real, hopefully you can find out now through George Soros and my receipt that it's not. So, how can you prove, Crumb, that Snoops is wrong and you are right? Well, glad you asked. Here we go. So, fact check. Yes, George Soros was a Nazi collaborator. Here we go. Since the media is once again insisting George Soros' Nazi collaboration is a conspiracy theory, here's George's George in his own words on 60 Minutes. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Snoops says. I want to hear what George Soros said. Okay? Okay, family? So, he was in an interview with a guy by the last name of Croft, first name not very important. So, Croft says, my understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted son. So, George Soros is a Jew. He was in Europe during the time of Nazi Germany. So that they wouldn't be killed by Nazis, they changed their name so that they wouldn't be known as Jews. George gets adopted by a Nazi who says that George is his son, and George works with him. Let's go on and see what happens. So Croft says one more time, my understanding is that you went out with this protector, who was a Nazi, of yours, who swore that you were his adopted son. This is what Soros says on 60 Minutes. Yes. And just to let you know, these are the transcripts. Croft continues on. Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews. Mr. Soros replies, yes, that's right. Yes. Croft. I mean, that's ... That sounds like an experience that would send lots of people into the psychiatric, lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult? Soros. Not ... Not at all. Family, press 1 if you imagine that if the KKK got a hold of Crumb, how hard it would be for me to bite my tongue. Come on, family. Now, matter of fact, don't put yourself in my shoes. Put yourself in your shoes. If the people that I don't know who it is. Is it the Nazis? Is it the KKK? Is it your in-laws? I don't know. But how hard would it be for you to pretend to like people that utterly hate you, that have killed your family, that if they found out who you really were, they would kill you? I would imagine, just playing devil's advocate, I would imagine that it would be a bit difficult. I'm just saying, that would be just my personal opinion. So I want to say, can't post comments to this destination. Okay, never mind. So we only got one person, which is Jennifer Susan. Shout out to Jennifer. The rest of the family is very used to being fake. The rest of the family, they're used to telling lies. They are people who love deception. But shout out to Jennifer. She's one of them people that would have a hard time faking the funk. So shout out to her. Apparently nobody else would have an issue with that. You could lie and pretend to be something you're not. And I guess, in hindsight, a lot of people do that. The reason nobody's pressing one is because a lot of people already do it, I would assume. I don't know why I would get such a lackluster response. Otherwise, then I'm just crazy, and most people don't have a problem with being phony. Anyway, George Soros says no, he doesn't have a problem with deception, lying, being phony, bullshitting, turning his back on his people, being a race traitor. He doesn't have a problem with any of that. Unfortunately, other than me, Jennifer, and Mary, and Fanny, the rest of the family could probably do it with ease. It would be a breeze for y'all. Being real is just, one of my character flaws, I guess. Okay, matter of fact, the family said they did press 1. The shit is just, I don't know. It must be on my side. But I'm glad to find out that I am in good company. I'm not alone. I was getting a little bit disturbed. Oh, the family said that the video had skipped. Sorry about that. I have no idea why it did that. But let's keep on going. All right. So Soros says, that's right, not at all. It wasn't hard for me to be a race traitor. It wasn't hard to be a liar. It wasn't hard to be disingenuous. It wasn't hard to turn my back on my people. Damn, Gina. Damn, Gina. Really? Anyway, not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it was. I created no problem at all. Croft says to him in this interview with 60 Minutes, no feeling of guilt for what you did. Family, this is what he said on 60 Minutes. I'm going to pull up Snoops. And you're going to see where Snoops said it's all a lie. And now this is going to expose that Snoops is being paid off. No feelings of guilt. Soros says, no. I slept like a baby. After I killed my own people, stole from my own people, got rich off my own people, I went and slept like a baby. Here go Croft. For that example, I'm Jewish, and here I am, watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that? You know, this is what Croft is saying. He would assume is going through the mind of Soros. I would assume that Soros would say something to the effect of, I'm Jewish and I'm here, watching these people go. I could just as easily be there, going with them. I should be there, because I'm a Jew. And Croft then asks, none of those thoughts went through your mind? Soros replies, well, of course I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was, well, actually, in a funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course, I wasn't doing it. But somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. So this is his rationale. Somebody was going to do it, might as well be me. Somebody was going to rape that little girl, might as well be me. She was going to get raped anyway, so I'm not tripping. Damn, Gina. Bro, you ain't shit for that one. This is the origins. This is him as a child. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? You know, this reminds me of that kid next door who killed cats. So me as an adult, I'm talking to my son and I say, hey, I know I can't pick your friends, or, I'm not even gonna try to pick your friends, but man next door, don't play with him. I seen him out there killing cats, and we know that that's where serial killers start at. They start killing cats, and then next, shit like that. Like, you don't have no moral compass. Nothing, you can't decide or figure out for yourself the difference between right and wrong. I've done bad, family. I've done bad. And I couldn't sleep at night. I'm like, damn, I gotta make shit right. I done dogged this fucking girl out. Now she's a whore. I was the first guy she was ever with. I should at least go and apologize. That might not mean anything. It might not do anything, but at least I'll feel better for my part. Hey, you know what, sis? You a sister. You melanated. I need to do better by our women. The reason a part of your demise is because you crossed paths with me, and I want to apologize in efforts to hopefully close that chapter in your life, and hopefully you could be a better person and I can be a better person. None of that, family! None of that! This is the We Give Zero Shits Fest. I don't give a damn. That's what we dealing with. What type of child can do that? These are the type of children that go inside their parents' room at night and stand over them while they sleep, listening to them breathe with a knife in their hand. George Soros could have easily been one of them Columbine boys. Okay? Because I feel like the family ain't connecting the dots. Y'all don't get what type of dude this is. This dude is crazy as all dog shit. Moving forward. And it was whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away. Now keep in mind, George was a part of a regime, a Nazi unit that was responsible for taking the valuables of Jews. Now you may know George Soros, you may not. But if you do know George Soros, let me spill the beans. George Soros is up there with Bill Gates. As far as like one of the richest individuals, money is not based off individuals. Money is based off families. George Soros is not one of the 13 families. Money is held in families. Rothschild, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Trump. They hold their money in trust. Black people or poor white people, they often go with nigger methods, which is, just holding your money under the bed, in your bra, in the bank, in a bank account. White people don't put rich people don't put money in a bank account. The FDIC only insures up to $250,000. That means if you put more than $250,000 in the bank and the shit magically disappears, you don't get but $250,000 out of your money. So for rich people, it doesn't make sense to put their money in the bank. They keep their money in a family trust. Moving forward. So when we're talking about families, they run the show. We're not talking about that. Families are here. Individuals are at the bottom. So now, George Soros is one of the richest individuals next to Bill Gates. Okay? So, how did he come on all this money? He was taking the valuables of Jews during the Nazi regime. Damn, Gina. How did George Soros get his money? He stole from Jews. Okay? He came up faking, stealing, lying, and cheating. Okay? That's how he got the money. And he said to rationalize this, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken anyway. So they're taking Jewish property, which is valuables, diamonds, gold, rubies, precious stones, gems, money, investments, stocks, bonds. He's taking all of that. Now, as you know, he's a liar. He's going to pocket some of that. Moving forward, that's just going to give you an idea of how he came up. So he continues on to say, I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt. Brother, you a goddamn lie. In the name of Fat Jesus. Fat Jesus? Yeah, and I just wanted to let the family know, I want to change my style a little bit. I did the white Jesus for a very long time. I'm trying my hand at Fat Jesus. Moving forward. In the name of Fat Jesus, you a goddamn lie. Moving on. Wait, is this it? Is this it? George Soros? Oh, white Jesus! Damn, see, there I go, white Jesus. Oh, they took it down. That's why they showed the transcripts. They took it down. The video of George Soros on 60 Minutes is no longer available. I tell you, money can do things. In the name of Fat Jesus, money can do things. Was Soros responsible for his actions at that age? He's certainly responsible for his adult perception of them, and he's been quite clear about that. Now, next slide. Well, no, this is not a PowerPoint. I'm just going through a series of articles. Sorry.
Where are the people?
So, his name is not, let me just enlarge this just a little bit. I know y'all not reading. If you did, there'd be no point for me to be up here. You wouldn't be watching me, but shout out to the family. I love you anyway. Let me just check this out real quick. Okay. Shout out to YouTube. We got about 100 people up there. Y'all rock with me the hardest. I love y'all. Alright, so his name is not George Soros. That's his straw man. It's just a fake name that he goes by to operate in the public to keep you asleep and to keep him safe. So his real name is George Swartz. His name is Swartz. Anyway, George Swartz, better known to the world as George Soros, was born, August 12, 1930 in Hungary. Actually, he was in Budapest, just to give you the exact city. Soros' father, whatever his name was a fervent practitioner of the Esperanto language. Just a bunch of crap. Who cares about that? The Swartz, who were non-practicing Jews, supposedly. The reason they say they were non-practicing Jews is because they had to hide their true identity. Same thing George is doing now. He's just hiding, okay? So, matter of fact, here, I'm about to cheat, family. I'm about to throw my reader on. If it's too fast, if you can't hear, I can't throw the reader on. White, fat Jesus. All right, I'm going to read it. Screw it. All right, here we go. The Swartz family, who were non-practicing Jews, changed their name to Soros in order to facilitate assimilation into the Gentile population, or the Goyim population, as the Nazis spread into Budapest, Hungary during the 30s. When Hitler's henchman, Adolf Eichmann, arrived in Budapest, Hungary to oversee the murder of the country's Jews, George Soros ended up with a man whose job was confiscating property from the Jewish population. Soros went with him on his rounds. A blog you might want to keep an eye on is SorosWatch.com. Shout out to SorosWatch.com. I got a good bit of my information from them. Their mission, I'm not going into all of that. Anyway, back to America. Soros has been actively working to destroy America from the inside out for some years now. People have been warning us. 2 years ago, news sources reported that Soros is an extremist who wants open borders. This is the same thing all of them want. All of the JEWS. A one world foreign policy, legalized drugs, euthanasia, and on and on and on. This is off the chart dangerous. In 97, Rachel Infield wrote, Soros uses his philanthropy to change, more accurately destruct the moral values and attitudes of Western world, and particularly the American people. His open society is not about freedom, but is about license. I will go into detail about open society in just a minute. One thing that kills me is when people try to talk educated about something they don't know about. If you talk about George Soros and do not mention open society, then you are in essence talking about Bruce Wayne and not mentioning Batman. Damn, Gina, you can't talk about Bruce Wayne and not mention Batman. You gotta question how much they know about Bruce Wayne. You can't mention George Soros and not mention his how he does his dirty work. He does his dirty work under the guise of open society. Moving forward, we'll talk about that in just a second. His vision rejects the notion of ordered liberty in favor of progressive ideology of rights and entitlements. Perhaps the most important of these whistleblowers are David Horowitz, who really went hard to bust down George Soros. Matter of fact, okay, I'm going to read the whole thing. David Horowitz and Richard Poe, their book, The Shadow Party. I don't know if you know where this is going, family, but if you think Shadow Party, you better think Shadow Government. Shadow Party outlines in detail how Soros hijacked the Democratic Party and now owns it lock, stock, and barrel. Shout out to all my Democrats. You are a bunch of George Soros cronies. Soros has been packed stacking the Democratic Party with radicals and ousting moderate Democrats for years. You're late, family. You a day late and a dollar short. You failed to do your research, and if any of this is a surprise to you, then you don't deserve to vote. The shadow party became the shadow government, which recently became the Obama administration. I'm sorry, the Obama administration. Family, this man used nostalgia to fuck black people. Black people are very nostalgic. Meaning, matter of fact, here, let's just take me to church. Nostalgic. How did he fuck over black people? Nostalgic meaning. There we go. Nostalgic. Nostalgic, characterized by or exhibiting feelings of nostalgic. A nostalgic person. A very press 1 if you've always press 1 if you have heard the complaints that black people react off emotion versus being proactive and organizing. Black people are not outnumbered, we're not outstrengthed, we're not outsmarted, they are not better than you. You are out-organized. Organization is the opposite of emotion. You have to put your emotions aside and sit down and organize. Black people don't do that. We just react off emotion. White people know this. So if you're an emotional black person, just know that you're being manipulated based off your emotions. But you're probably too emotional to even acknowledge that, so there's no point for me to even go too deep into that. It's a waste of time. It's honestly just a waste of time. So here we go. The shadow party became the shadow government, which recently became the Obama administration. He used Obama to wine and dine black people. Black people got wined, dined, fucked on the first date, and it turned into a one-night stand. Bitch, you got left holding the bag, and the Obama administration did not pass one iota of policy exclusively and overtly for you. If a black person tells you that Obama did create a policy for black people, they're not talking exclusively. They're saying that you gain from somebody else's benefit. Well, that policy, it mainly benefited homosexuals, but black people are homosexuals, so indirectly, they got benefited. Well, those policies mainly were dedicated to veterans, but black people are also veterans, so it indirectly affected them. Yes, but there was nothing exclusively. He brought up policy exclusively for the dreamers, or illegals, or Mexicans, or immigrants, or whatever you want to call them. He brought up specific policy for homosexuals, LGBTQIL, LGBT, XYZ. I don't know what the fuck they are anymore, but they had exclusive policy. So now, other people like the Moors will tell you that Obama passed legislation indirectly for us. That's bullshit as well, family. Unless you say it, it's bullshit. We not dealing with no sneak dissing. Just like you cannot sneak diss, you can't sneak promote. So if somebody's gonna give you props, if they're gonna give you flowers while you can still smell them, don't elude to the fact that you would like to give me flowers, or these flowers would possibly be for you. Say, bitch, these flowers are for you. The Moors will tell you, oh, he did something for you, but he didn't say, hey, this is for you. You had to figure that shit out. That don't count, family. That's that bullshit, backdoor, we're gonna make it seem like he did something for you. Family, there has been nothing exclusively done for you or directly done for you. It was either well, if you think about it this way, you can kiss my ass that way. Reparations won't work like that. If reparations come down the pipeline, it better not let B know, well, we're going to give white people reparations and we'll give some to the black people too. Reparations ain't going to be, we're going to give reparations to a certain type of people. We're just not going to say who they are. You've got to figure that out for yourself. I'm not dealing with that figure it out bullshit. Shout out to the Moors and that bullshit. Shout out to the dreamers and the LGBT with that indirect bullshit, family. You not satisfying real people. You're only satisfying those people who are nostalgic, and they're going to try to meet you halfway. Bitch, if you're wrong, I want an apology. Don't come over here saying, hey, remember what happened yesterday? And, you be like, are you trying to apologize? Well, you know what, fuck it, I accept your apology. Even though you didn't really apologize, no, I don't play. Some niggers will accept that bullshit. Alright, well, he tried, I accept that shit. I see a lot of Moors doing that. I see a lot of the LGBT doing that. I see a lot of the dreamers doing that. Bitch, I don't do that. I don't do that. Until you come over here and address me like a goddamn man and speak directly to me, no fucking code, no circles, no behind the back. Obama didn't do shit exclusively or directly for us, and that's a fact. It was all nostalgic. Because black people are very emotional.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Yep.
Discover the network. Discover. TheNetworks.org, another good source, writes, by his, meaning Soros, own admission, he helped engineer a coup d'etat. It's French, my French is rusty. By his own admission, George helped engineer a group of people to overthrow the government. In case you don't know what a coup is a plan to overthrow the government. George Soros, by his own admission, helped engineer a coup for Slovakia, Croatia, Georgia, Yugoslavia, and so on. You see where this is going? No, Crumb, I don't see where this is going. When Soros targeted a country for regime change, he begins by creating a shadow government. Oh, damn, Crumb. This ain't even some new shit. It's old, family. Bitch, where you been? This the 5th time they done did this fucking shit. Nigga, you the last one to find out. That's what you dealing with. What's your Black Lives Matter ass? Oh yes, if I spill the beans, I will be busting a hole in all you Black Lives Matter assholes. A fully formed government in exile, ready to assume power when an opportunity arises. This man created a whole goddamn government on the sideline. Just for the family who may not understand what I'm saying, and where's that coming from? Oh, that's the light. Anyway. Just in case the family may not understand what I'm saying, and a lot of you are too niggerish to get it, let me put it like this. The government is a marriage. It's Jerome and Keisha, and they married. But George Soros don't like Jerome. And keep in mind, George Soros is pushing homosexuality. So George Soros don't like Jerome. So to break that shit up, George Soros goes to get Karen. Karen is a white woman. So George Soros has Karen, the side chick, on the side, waiting for Keisha to divorce Jerome. So what I'm saying is, he had a government that was on the sidelines, waiting for this government to fall and to be replaced. Because a lot of y'all can't understand shit that is not on par with Atlanta Housewives, so let's make it ratchet. Family love ratchet. Press 1 if you understand it. A nigga will get it if it's ratchet. A nigga will understand that ratchet shit. So this side government was ready to assume powers at the opportunity when the opportunity would arise. The shadow party he has built in America greatly resemble those he created in countries prior to instigating a coup. The shadow government in America is a damn near a twin to fucking the shadow government over there in goddamn Yugoslavia, Georgia, Slovakia. Slovakia used to be Czechoslovakia. Georgia used to be Russia. Croatia, I think that used to be Italy. I don't know. Yugoslavia used to be a part of the Slavic nations. Okay? So you can see where these governments are now independent. Slavia is fucking Karen, not Jerome. Georgia is another version of Karen, not Jerome. Yugoslavia is another version of Karen. When we say Yugoslavia, that's not Keisha and Jerome. That's Keisha and Karen. Okay? I just need you to understand, if you go look up Yugoslavia, it is not an old nation. It's some new school shit. Georgia is new school. Slovakia is new. Croatia is new. That's a new government, family. That's a jewel in George Soros' crown. Bitch, go do the fucking research. Don't debate me. Moving forward. November. Let me just throw this on real quick. I think we are halfway through. Oh, damn, 40 minutes in and I haven't even gotten halfway through this shit. White Jesus. Not even white Jesus. Fat Jesus. Alright, let me throw this on real quick, family. My baby's gotta eat. I'm throwing this bitch on. I'm doing the dollar challenge. Money sign Crumb TV. Please donate $1. My baby's gotta eat too. You know what? I'm about to really slow down what I do on Crumb TV because I'm gonna get me a regular nigger job because white people recognize the value of Crumb more than my people do. Y'all be so mad. Well, Crumb, why don't you do it this way? Bitch, I'm doing it for free. If you really want the platform to look a certain way, invest in that shit. Oh, I'm not trying to invest in it. I'm just trying to criticize. I get it. So with that said, kick rocks. For the family who wants me to change, put your money up. I'll do it. I'm about to go back to fucking McDonald's. But anyway, if you don't want me to go to McDonald's, put $1 in the fucking basket. Goddamn, Pastor Pork Chop don't gotta go to McDonald's, but I gotta go to McDonald's. White Jesus. Anyway. Alright, so here we go. Now that I'm done belly aching. November 2008 edition of the German magazine Der Spiegel, in which Soros gives his opinion on what the next POTUS, which is short for President of the United States, should do after taking office. And this is what George Soros says, according to this German magazine. I think we need a large stimulus package. Oh, really? Soros thought around $600 billion would be about right. Soros also said, I think Obama presents us a great opportunity to finally deal with the global warming and energy dependence. The U.S. needs a cap and trade system with auctioning of licenses of emission rights. There we go with that word, licensing. Although Soros doesn't yet own the Republican Party like he does the Democrat, make no mistake, his tentacles and spread throughout the Republican Party as well. Let me just help you understand this shit. Just in case you think George Soros is not tied to Obama, for all you Obama fans who don't know shit about Obama, let me teach you something. Obama was a junior senator in Chicago. That means his vote didn't count. He had an office in the basement with no fucking windows. The damn janitor had a key to the building, and Obama did not. Obama was a half-assed community activist that came up off Larry Hoover. Obama was a half-assed community activist who came up off Larry Hoover. Video will be coming soon. I was supposed to do a video with this sister who dropped a fucking ball on me, and I know she ain't watching, but she know who she is. But it's all good, sis. I'll do it my fucking self. So now, they said Obama came up off a speech that he did at the Democratic Party, at the Democratic convention in 2006 or something like that. And the speech was so good they called him the great communicator. And they said, hey, we can get behind this guy and make him the next president. So Who said that? Who put the money up? Obama raised more money than anybody, and y'all thought he did that off the strength of the internet? Who gave him that idea? The people that control the internet. The people who bought into all of that prior to Obama. Before you Obama fans fucked with Obama, George Soros hand-picked Obama. You didn't know Obama, but George knew Obama. So don't come over here with that Obama shit. When you didn't know George Obama, they knew I'm sorry, I keep saying George. They knew Obama. Be honest with me, family. You didn't fuck with Obama until after he got, the Democratic nomination or some shit like that. You don't have no fucking clue who he is. You've never seen his birth certificate. White Jesus. How the fuck did a dude with no birth certificate become president? George Soros. George Soros. Shout out to all my Obama fans. I know you are very nostalgic, and because of your emotional connection to this fact, because of your emotional connection to the first homosexual president, you can't handle the truth. You will turn a blind eye to the truth. You know what the difference between you and Crumb is? When I get the truth, I eat that bitch. I swallow it. The first toes I ever stepped on were my own. I used to be the biggest Christian out there. I had to get over my shit and get past my emotions, and that was the day Crumb was born. And you will not be a master student until you learn to get your emotions in control. That nostalgic, reactive shit will be your death.
Fact.
Moving forward. Now that I got that out the way, let's get back to the information. All right. So now that we know that the deep state was really the deep party, which became deep government, which became the Obama administration. Moving forward, Soros is a partner in the Carlyle Group. Press 1 if you never heard of the Carlyle Group.
I heard them before.
Family, y'all better stop playing with me. Y'all don't know the fucking Carlyle Group? Carlyle Group controversy. I wish I would have had this up prior.
Michael Moore mission is
Carlyle Group, here's what you need to know about Carlyle Group. I just want to know who is, what companies, investment. Okay. Supreme's new investors have controversial history with the Bin Laden family. Who is in bed in the Carlyle Group? Bin fucking Laden.
Bin Laden family.
Bin Laden helped bring you the fucking Patriot Act.
Yup.
He's in bed with them. They never killed him. He died of natural causes. Go ask Budo Benjamin. Bahuto Bin Hagen. That woman, she came out, she said Bin Laden died already. 2 days later, they assassinated that bitch. Wow. She came out and said Bin Laden is already dead. 2 days later, that bitch got a headshot in public. They assassinated that bitch in front of 100,000 people.
Ben Hazar.
Obama didn't kill Bin Laden. Obama was in bed with Bin Laden. Bin Laden was an investor in the goddamn Carlyle Group. Bitch, where the fuck you been at? Oh, I'm just emotionally invested. That don't mean I'm a master student. I'm not doing no fucking significant research. I'm just watching the fucking news and gathering as much information as I can from 1-minute clips off Instagram and Facebook, That's the type of master student I am. I'm not really connecting no fucking dots. White Jesus. Soros is a fucking partner in the Carlyle Group. He's in bed with I'm sorry, million. A milli, a milli, a milli, 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 a milli, a milli, a milli, a milli, a milli, He invested 100 million, family. According to the article by Baltimore Chronicles, Alice Corbinair, the Carlyle Group is run by a veritable who's who of former Republican leaders. He's in bed with the Republicans as well as the Democrats. Eat your heart out, voters. Well, Crumb, this must mean that you're down with the Republicans. Well, Crumb, and then if I say something bad about the Republicans, well, Crumb, this must mean you're down with the Democrats. Bitch, the fuck is wrong with you? When we're dealing with the Republicans, that's the right wing. When we're dealing with the Democrats, that's the left wing. Bitch, birds of a feather flock together. The fuck you mean? Even if they are two different eagles, they both eagles and they down with each other. They the eagles. Your ass a fucking falcon. They don't fuck with you. They not down with you. And you white people, you poor ass white people, that fucking white privilege is gonna carry your ass this far. You think you gonna get a break based off white privilege? Bitch, you stupid. That white privilege will run out on your ass. And your ass will be next after me. Fine, white people, they're gonna kill me first. I get it. Bitch, you next. The fuck you mean? You next. You taking pride in being, now at least I'm not first. Bitch, you second, so now what? Moving forward. Now we know the Carlyle Group is where the who's who of Republicans put their money. Well, who you talking about, Crumb? When we dealing with Bin Laden, what Republican? Can somebody name me the Republican who is closely associated with Bin Laden? Let me see if the family know. When you're dealing with Bin Laden, which Republican you dealing with? Let me see. Jeopardy style. Do 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 do. Time's up. George fucking Bush. Are you fucking kidding me? When you think Carlyle Group, you better think George Bush, George Soros, Bin Laden. What's his vice president name? What's the VP name? White Jesus. What's the VP name? Cheney. When you think Carlyle Group, you better think those names. Bush, Soros, Bin Laden, Cheney. Okay? Crumb, you going hard on the Democrats. That must mean you're a Republican. Go fuck yourself with these basic ass understandings. Well, if it isn't black, it must be white. There are no shades of gray. Okay. Continuing on. From CIA man Frank Carlucci to CIA head and ex-president George Bush Sr. White Jesus, I'm going in. Where my blood pressure pills at? Oh, I forgot. I don't take blood pressure pills. I need some blood pressure pills. Every time I go live, I be telling myself I'm not going to do this, and I do it every time. In late 2006, Soros bought about 2 million shares of Halliburton. Come on, family. Where my 9/11 heads at? Man, y'all better be under the age of 18 if you don't know about if you don't know about Halliburton. I'm not giving you a pass unless you're under the age of 18. Oh, you know what? I'll give you 25. If you're under the age of 25, if you never heard of Halliburton, then fine. Anybody over the age of 25 who has not heard about Halliburton, from this point on, you are not allowed to vote until you do some goddamn research.
I know, right?
When you think Halliburton, bitch, you better think Dick Cheney. Better think Dick Cheney.
He go together like peanut butter.
He's in bed with the Republicans as well as the Democrats. When Democrats and Republicans held their convention in 2000, Soros held shadow party conventions in the same city at the same damn time. In 2008, Soros donated $5 billion I'm a billionaire, I'm a young money billionaire, tougher than Nigeria. Family, $5 billion to the Democratic National Convention. It don't even cost $5 billion to become the fucking president. When you put up $5 billion, you bought the vote. Oh, $5 billion. All right, who do you want to be president? When you put up $5 billion, you can go to the fucking White House buffet style. All right, what is my appetite today? All right, I'm feeling. What do you want to have for breakfast? I'm feeling like having some Republicans. All right, here we go. We have today's special on the Republican menu. You can choose between Bush. You can get some Cheney on the side with the Bush. You can even, when you put $5 billion up, family, $5 billion. You can pick a president like a fucking soda out the vending machine. Here's 50 cents. I'm gonna have a Pepsi. Here's $5 billion. I'm picking Democrat. A Billy. Oh my God, you didn't know that? Okay, with your voting ass. Okay, just go ahead on and vote and pay me no mind. My vote is more than $5 billion, Crumb. All that information shit is interesting, Crumb, but my vote makes shit happen more so than $5 billion, Crumb. Alright, kiss my ass. Tell yourself whatever it is you want to. A $5 billion speak, family. I'm not talking about $1 million. Just in case anybody's confused, I'm not talking about $1 million. You're gonna have to add 3 extra zeros. We're talking about the Billion Boy Network. He put up $5 billion to ensure Obama wins, wins for many other Alinsky-trained radical rules anti-American socialists. George has been contributing $1 billion plus to the Democratic National Convention since Clinton came on the goddamn scene. Family, y'all fucking voters are 20 years late. Y'all better get your fucking money together. Who is the biggest Democrat? The highest voting class in America are black people. A lot of you niggers will swear out black people don't vote. Bitch, you don't do no fucking research. You're not a master student. You're an opinionated, I follow the news ass parakeet. Black people vote more than white people, Asians, Jews, anybody. Who's the #1 people in America that don't vote? Asians. Why do Asians not vote? Because they have an economic base in which they get their agendas and initiatives pushed through. Yep. Money talk, bullshit walk. Exactly. Money talk, voting walk. I will order a fucking president with $5 billion like I will a McDonald Nasty Burger from Grubhub. Bitch, hi, I want to order an Obama. Yeah, I'm not even coming out the fucking house. I'm in my underwear. I ain't even taking a fucking shower today. Send them to the door, Grubhub style. $5 billion will get that type of shit, okay? Just in case you don't understand how money works. Moving on. Soros has dirtied both sides of the aisle. Trust me. But, I'm not even going with the whole trust. We're not dealing with trust. We're not dealing with opinion. We're not dealing with feelings. We're dealing with facts. And if it weren't bad enough, he has long-held connections with the CIA. And I mustn't forget to mention Soros' involvement with the mainstream media. Bitch, the reason that you believe shit is because of the fucking TV. You think white people don't know your bitch ass is emotional? You don't think the elite class know that even white people believe most of the shit that come on the goddamn TV? White people might not be as emotional as black people, because white people will lynch your ass and sleep well. But even white people watch that goddamn TV. Crumb, you seen what happened on the TV? No, nigga, I didn't see it. Tell me the lies, since you so eager. So I can ruin our friendship by telling you the truth. Crumb, I can't fuck with Crumb anymore. I need a beautiful lie, and there's too many ugly truths. You know what, Crumb, just fuck it. I just wanted to talk, and now you getting so deep in the shit. I wanted to talk about Bush, and you talking about Carlisle Group. I want to talk about Cheney, and Crumb talking about Halliburton. Crumb, I don't do that type of conversation. I like to see at the surface, Crumb. I get it. That's why the family don't like me now. I get it. It's all good, family. I forgave you before it even happened. I already knew what was happening. The entertainment industry, he controls the media, family. Half of y'all believe everything. I'm an OG, family. A lot of you little niggas is not no fucking OGs. A lot of you little niggas is fucking... You my sons and daughters. I'm a fucking OG. Let me give you the game OG style. Take it from an OG. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see, silly nigga. So stop telling me what you saw on TV. It gotta be right, Crumb, and happened and they said it on TV. Alright, okay, I get you. Go fuck yourself. God damn it, you fucking kids. So now, he controls the mainstream media because he knows that you believe his shit on TV. He also controls the entertainment industry because you people will dick ride Jay-Z. You will dick ride Kobe Bryant. Crumb, but Kobe. But Jay-Z. Bitch, don't you know Jay-Z's a hustler? You put $5 billion in front of Jay-Z, he will suck the fucking cum out your dick. Crumb, why you gotta put it like that? Don't you like Jay-Z, nigga? Don't get all uppity and high and mighty now, nigga. I can't believe Crumb is talking like that. Let me turn on some Jay-Z. I can't believe Crumb is talking like that. Let me turn on some Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't like when people talk like that. I'm gonna go listen to Trump. Don't you remember when Trump said Haiti was a shithole? But that's cool. Don't you remember Trump said in terms of the NFL taking a knee that they were some what did he say about the people taking a knee? He said that they were I think he said bitches or asshole or fucktards, something to that effect. So shout out to everybody who is extra squeamish on Crumb TV, but they aren't squeamish around Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, and Donald Trump. But Crumb, if Trump says it, if Jay-Z says it, it's okay. But I get squeamish on Crumb TV. I know. Well, here to all my Jay-Z fans, $5 billion, Jay-Z will do anything you want. Jay-Z will bend over and spread his cheeks for $5 billion. Okay? When you're dealing with celebrities, they are bought and paid for.
Come on in.
Jay-Z cannot take too much of a stand. They will shut his ass.
Hold on.
And I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women. And we know our brothers are holding us down too, just like you. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, we are.
Instagram, real quick. This is Sister Vicky. I want you to come on over to FlyNubianQueenTV.com.
Hold on now.
We have much to discuss, and I don't want you to miss this most important conversation. Instagram, come on over to FlyNubianQueenTV.com.
There we go.
By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicky S. Dillard. Thank you so much for coming on in. Thank you for your patience as we air, dear family, a little bit of housekeeping as you come in. Please come in giving us a thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Please know that you can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. We also want you to know that we have a store, and that is shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. And also a business school at FlyNubianBusiness.com. We want you to be sure to check out those things. We believe that they will be beneficial to you. Dear family, I want to get into some stuff today, and I want to remember to give a shout out to my dear sister, and just a bit, too, before I go. Shout out to you, Sanity Production, the first giver. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you so very much. My dear sister, Lady B. Lady B, you know who you are. I want to thank you so much. You'll be hearing from me soon, beloved. Family, we're still in Holy Uprising 2020. Somebody say holy. We're still in this Holy Uprising season. I told you before that one of the main reasons it's holy is because it's Black resistance. This is a holy time because we're resisting. What does James chapter 4 say? The devil, and he will flee from us. We're resisting white supremacy. We're resisting tyranny. We're resisting murder. We're resisting theft. So this is a holy time for us. And I don't want you to ever forget it. Somebody talk black to me. Holy. We're still in our holy uprising season. I've expressed to you before, it is a just, a good, and a righteous thing to be engaged in acts of justice. And when you don't submit to justice, injustice, that's a holy thing. And shout out to our brothers and sisters that are on the front lines making this thing happen. While we're dealing in this season, in this holy uprising season, we will continue to see outbursts of white rage. Why? Because we are what? I'll let you finish the sentence while I take a sip. You're going to continue to see outbursts of white rage. We're going to continue to have to defend ourselves against certain attacks. Why, family? Because we're at war. Think it not strange. Our goal, our point is to what? To be prepared. Somebody talk black to me. So in one of the latest outbursts of white rage, this beautiful black sister, Demetria is her name. She survived a white supremacist attack on her life. Shout out to you, Erica, for your gift. Queen V, looking renaissance and fabulous. You make our people proud. Our queen ancestor, Lena Horn birthday. Oh, thank you, beloved. I love you, Erica, and you're such a blessing to the network and to me personally, and I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Listen. Listen. And so our sister survived a white supremacist attack. Thank you, Mona Shabazz. She survived this white supremacist attack after this white man by the name of Jeremy Christian, I'm getting ready to give you, I'm going to let you listen to a clip. I'm going to show you the clip. He murdered 2 people, but the day before, I believe it was the day before, he murdered 2 people. He had attacked her, but she had her mace, and she gave him some work. Shout out to you, Michael. He said, thank you for sharing your genius with us. It's my privilege, beloved. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Listen. So during his sentencing, he was sentenced to life for double murder, right? Are y'all hearing me? She was strong enough, bold enough, courageous enough, this black woman, to look this won't believe what he did in court. I want you to watch the dynamics in the courtroom. Please pay close attention, because folks that tune into the Vicky Show, we're not only intelligent black people, we're spiritually intelligent. Somebody talk back to me. I'm getting ready to cue this, and as I get ready to cue this, I want you to prepare to listen to just a little bit of her impact statement. And what she said was so moving. It so irked this white supremacist that he threatened to murder her in open court. Shout out to you, Victor. Shout out to you, Fatima, for your gift. Sending you universal love. May the ancestors continue to keep you safe. Thank you for keeping us right and exact. It is my privilege to love dear sister and family. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Family, Instagram, come on over to FlyTVQueenTV.com so that you can see this recording and so that I can use this device. Thank you so very much. Habari, powerful queen. Drop that knowledge. Thank you, beloved. Again, family, be sure to follow me when you can, when you get a moment. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. That's Vicky X Dillard. Very important. I'm posting this for my people there, to invite them to come on over on my Instagram page. Also, family, don't forget, for those of you that haven't, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. And by the way, our show is aired on other platforms as well. So if you happen to be watching us on one of our other platforms at a different time, I want you to be sure to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to like and share, or whatever it is on that particular platform that you need to do to like and share. You ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so very much. And again, family, stay tuned by the end of this week. Thank you, Jet Black. She said your curly braids look nice. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet and kind. Thank you so very much. You all know that y'all keep me looking right. Some of you all, like my dear sister, who I shot out a little bit ago, she sent me a bunch of bows and some coin by mail at my mailing address on our website at MissVickyTV.com. And just Sister Lady B, you know who you are. Bless you so much. Just thank you for your gift. Thanks for all you do. It's my privilege, queen. Now watch this. Let's get going. This is what I posted. I always like to show you what I post to give you sort of a point of reference. Can you all see this white supremacist? Can you all see this savage, this beast? Can you all see this beast in open court? Can you all see this beast in open court? Shout out to you, Candy. Queen, you are looking beautiful as always. Hit the gavel for love you. That's for you, Candy. You know this, we're holding court today as usual. And this is indeed the place of power. Shout out to our beautiful moderators that's in the digital building and our chief moderator duo. We appreciate you. All of you so very much. So this is what I posted today on Instagram. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Watch this. I wrote, white supremacist sentenced to life for double murder threatens witness during sentencing. Oh, that's bold, ain't it, family? You gotta be pretty bold when you're there for sentencing. In the middle of the sentencing, you openly threaten to do what I'm getting ready to let you listen to right now. But I want you to keep a few things in mind. Shout out to you, Melvin. Every one of you that are giving, I bless you 1,000-fold. I want us to not just focus on this savage, on this beast, but I also want you to pay very close attention. The beast being Jeremy Christian, last name Christian. So Lord have mercy. Listen. But I want you to focus on the poise and the strength, the femininity, and the warrior spirit that is strong and present in our dear sister in the face on the front lines of war. That's what I want you to pay close attention to, Black family. Do not forget. All of you that tune into the Vicky Show that listen to what I have to say, my assignment, what I am born and built to do, might be different from other people. I know some of the topics that we discuss appear to be heavy, but I've always said, I've said this for a long time, I will continue to remind you, we are in our finest hour. I know it doesn't look like it. I know it doesn't feel like it. These pains are difficult, but I'm reminding you, for us, I can't speak for everybody else, for us, these are labor pains. If we didn't know any better, if we saw a woman screaming and hollering, moaning and groaning, we think something's the matter. But those are the very things that attend a woman that's getting ready to give birth. And in fact, she passes death to give birth. She often what? Sheds blood. She goes through much pain. But it's only temporary. I know those 9 months feels like 9 years for some of y'all. But blessed family, we are in our finest hour. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that by otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips and balance in favor of fair use. Let me get ready. I thought I had my sound on. Let me get it ready. Shout out to you, Maria. Hey, sis, speak your words or mine. Black is listening. I hope I read that right. Thank you, beloved. All right. Pay very close attention, Black family, to this scene that took place in court just the other day. Here we go. I think this is it. Looks like my speaker seems like it's. I need to make sure it's plugged up here. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, watch this. I'm getting ready to. I'm getting ready to fast forward this to the pertinent parts because she's doing basically I think it's like an impact statement, witness statement during his sentence, right? This is the sister. I'm getting ready to turn the volume up, Black family, but I want to always give you mothers and fathers out there and guardians a heads up if you have children. The language that's getting ready to take place and what you're going to see this white supremacist do is very disturbing. So I want to give you the heads up on that. So I want to give you just a few moments to prepare if you have children. If you have children, Vicky reminds me of young Nancy Wilson and her outfit is sharp. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. Watch this. Here we go. I'm cueing it up again. Hopefully this is enough time for you parents, grandparents, or guardians. While they're doing that, family, keep liking and sharing. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up. I'm going to take a sip of water. Remember, labor pains. We're at war, but it won't always be. We're getting ready, family. We're retaking our place on our planet. Somebody say our planet. Shout out to you, Patricia, for your gift. Chesapeake, Virginia is watching. Continue to spread knowledge. Thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. And shout out to Chesapeake, Virginia. Beautiful Southern family. Listen.
Okay.
Somebody say our planet. Or we're giving the mothers and fathers a chance to get their babies together. Somebody say this is our planet. And we're setting the world back in order. Some of you have thought of yourself too small. Some of you don't realize how important you are, what role you have. You think that your gifts and your skills, you don't even recognize how the necessity for your gifts, your skill set understand how important it is for such a time as this. We need every black gift. We need every skill, every aptitude, every capacity, every capability. It matters. It's our planet. The bee has a role in the earth. When you begin to study the bee and understand just how important the bee is to our ecosystem, to our entire planet, as small as the bee is, when you understand and can learn and glean lessons from the ant, the wonders of the eagle, the lion, the snake, and even the crocodile, black family, every one of you matters. And this is our planet. We are the original people. We are the direct descendants of God. Every other people, red, brown, yellow, and white, they made their way into the earth realm on our planet by us and through us. I don't say that arrogantly, but our people have been beaten down for far too long, and you need to know, first and foremost, who you are. We're in our finest hour. Now, enough preaching. Watch this. Hopefully that was enough time for you beautiful parents to get it together. Y'all ready? Now I'm letting you listen to the end of our dear sister's statement. Remember this black queen's name, Demetria Hester, last name Hester. She gave her statement and sentencing of Jeremy Christian for a 2017 double murder, but that was just recently this happened, but the murder was in 2017. You're going to hear Christian, this right racist, shout something out. This is her in court just the other day.
You are a waste of breath.
Preach, queen.
And when you die, you're going to feel
Hold on.
You are a waste of breath. In a small tube. You are a waste of breath. And when you die, you're going to feel I hope you rot.
Say that, bitch.
Go back there. What do I tell you? You can go on here.
He's gone.
Taking the step.
You got that right, Stomp Down. Stomp Down said she talked black to him. Before we go giving this little rodent,
All right.
this stranger, an alien to our planet,
Oh, Jesus.
this blood shedder, before we go giving them too much credit, before you start shaking and quaking in your boots, pay attention to the strength of this queen in the face of his enemy. Somebody talk black to me. Let me tell you something. Because this is our planet, we are now establishing order. Do you know when you resist tyranny? Do you know when you resist white supremacy? Do you know when you demand justice? Do you know when you say that you want land that's your own? You want money that's your own? You want to run your own? Somebody talk back to me. Don't you know that you are establishing the earth and you are causing it to function in the way it was meant to be? And only you, black man, and only you, black woman, have the power to do it. Shout out to you, Pearly Gates, for your gift. Bang on that beast. I know that's right. I'm going to play this again. And I want you to pay close attention. Because see, this is not only the place for intelligent black people. Dr. Moore says that about his platform, the home for intelligent black people. This is home for intelligent black people here too. But this is also the place for spiritually intelligent people. Why spiritually intelligent people? What do you mean by spirit? When we use point is, everything you see came from something you can't see. Everything that is came from stuff you cannot see. So because we are the original people, we are more than what meets the eye. We exist on multiple planes of God today. So I endeavor to speak to you in more than one way. So when I'm dealing with spirituality, I just go to the stuff that made everything God today. When I'm dealing with from the spiritual perspective, I'm going to the original root. I'm going to the source of the thing from which everything you can see comes. Somebody talk black to me. And besides, black folks' deliverance, our freedom, our true salvation is not going to come like everybody else's. If you in your mind think that the way we're going to level up is just through politics, you have lost your mind. If you think it excludes politics, you have also lost your mind.
VP specials have arrived.
Watch this. I want you to pay attention to our dear sister Demetria, to that white supremacist Christian that yells out. I want you to pay attention to what he yells out before he threatens to kill her. I want you to pay attention to the deputies. Are y'all hearing me today? 1400 plus if you're in the chat. Welcome to the Vicky Show. If you're watching us on FindingBigQueenTV.com, please right now take a moment to give us the thumbs up and hit that notification bell and the subscribe button. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms at a different time, in a different time zone, beloved, wherever you're watching us, at whatever time and whatever platform you're watching us on, please like, please follow, please engage right now if you would. Thank you so very much. Watch this. Shout out to you. Fight for your gift. Watch this. Thank you, my sister. You're welcome. I want you to watch this again. I'm so glad this woman exists. Listen to the light.
And when you die, Lord, I hope you rock.
See there, man.
Did you hear what she said? She says, and when you die and go to hell, I hope you ride. This was not somebody that was down there talking about we forgive you. This was not somebody, Judge Mammy Tammy, that's wishing that you find Jesus in prison. This is a sister.
We might be in a different place, but on the other side, they're wanting to race bait on tokenism. While this legislation will provide resources for body cameras, for anti-lynching, for de-escalation training, but no, we can't concern ourselves with the families I sat with at the White House yesterday and in my office yesterday. Instead, we want to play politics because this is 2020 and we're far more concerned about winning elections than we are having a serious conversation on reform in this country. No, we would rather have a conversation about tearing this country apart, making it a binary choice between law enforcement and communities of color instead of working for the American people, bringing the reforms to the table so that we have a chance to balance this nation and direct her towards due north. No, that's too much to ask. On June 17th, 5 years later, I started this conversation on body cameras in 2015, on the Walter Scott Notification Act in 2015. But no, we want to have a political conversation. I reject that. I reject that. And I will tell you that I believe that my friends on the other side of the aisle are serious about police reform. There's just some that are more interested in scoring political points than they actually are getting a result. Not the majority of them. The majority of them have the same heart that we have for the American people. That's where we should be focusing our attention on. Not the color of my skin, not tokens. Cool when you're out in the public. I get it all the time on Twitter. I'm used to it. But on this day, my heart aches for my state. My heart aches for my uncle's church for 50 years before he passed. And so I'm a little riled up. I sit here quietly trying to pass good legislation that was based on the House bill because I knew that if I wanted a chance to get something done, we had to do it in a bipartisan fashion. I'm not running for anything. I'm not up for re-election. I'm not trying to support someone for their victory. I'm simply saying to the families I met with yesterday at the White House without a camera, and in my office yesterday without a camera, I hear you. We see you. You are not simply sitting there silent. We are working on serious, tangible, measurable results. Why is that not enough? Why can't we just disagree on the 3 or 4 items that we disagree upon? Why can't I say what I've been saying, which is that the House bill is in fact the blueprint for some progress. It goes too far for me in some areas, but yes, I like the concept of more information. This is a good thing. The House does it, we do it. That's a good thing. I like the concept of more training. The House does it, we do it. I like the fact that we're looking for a way to ban chokeholds. We do it by taking money from different departments. They do it in a different fashion. But we're about 90% there. But where do we go? Where do we go? People wonder why our country's so divided, because it's so easy to walk on this floor and say token and send the same race-baiting message that we've heard for a very long time. But if you're a Democrat, hey, it's okay. That's not ever okay. It's not okay to say to our kids, you can't think what you want to think and be who you want to be. If you're not in line with one place and the way they think is bad news, then you're a sellout. What message do you send to kids? I'm going to be okay. But what message are we sending to kids through our country? That you can't be taught just to think. We have to teach you how to think. That's the kind of conclusion that is wrong. It's toxic. It's pushing our country towards an implosion that is avoidable. That's why I started my legislative day today with remembering Mother Emanuel. It's why I read my Bible next because I knew I needed a little extra strength. And it's why I turned immediately to my first interview trying to talk about police reform. Because as a guy who's been stopped 18 times in the years of the 2000s, I take it seriously. Being stopped 7 times in a single year, being stopped this year, being stopped last November, being stopped coming into the Senate with my pen on. Sure, I get it. I don't point fingers at the other side saying that they're just not serious about the issue. It's just not what we should do. I assume that everybody should be serious about the issue. But Mr. President, I gotta tell you, it's with a heavy heart. It's with a heavy heart that I believe that had we had more money for body cameras, we'd be in a different position today than we were in 2015, but I didn't have anybody who wanted to have this conversation. Or at least, we didn't have this conversation. I believe that there are good people of good intent on the other side of the aisle. I think there are good people of good intent on our side of the aisle. I think the fact of the matter is that most Americans are tired of Republicans and Democrats talking about Republicans and Democrats. I think most Americans are tired of us talking about election outcomes and polls. What about me is what they are saying. I'm suggesting that this bill, the Justice Act, is a serious nationwide effort tackling the issues of police reform, accountability, and transparency. It is grounded in bipartisan principles because I believe the other side has some stuff we have to hear and that our side has some stuff they need to hear. And if we do that, we'll have the votes to have a real debate next week on this bill. But if we don't do that, we'll just talk about scoring political points, and you'll go on MSNBC or CNN, we'll go on Fox, and everybody will have their chatter, and more people in the communities of color will have less confidence in the institutions of power and authority in this nation because we missed the moment. We missed it 5 years ago. We don't have to miss it now. Mr. President, as you know, I am not really into theatrics. I don't run towards microphones. I've had a lot of them this last 7 days. I don't talk a lot in conference because why say what other people are saying and they probably said it better. I don't demonize the other side because I know that in order to get anything done in this conference, in this committee, in this Senate, you gotta have 60 votes. And plus, if you have a grievance with your brother, talk to him. Talk to him. I've tried to do that. Mr. President, as I'm sure I've run over my time, let me just say that to the families I sat down with yesterday, they don't think working on body cameras is a token experience. They don't think sitting down with the President of the United States with their tears filling their eyes, running down their cheeks, talking about their lost loved ones is a token experience. The law enforcement officers in that meeting with those families do not believe that having a serious conversation about police reform is a token experience. They don't believe that co-responders for the one man who was in the room whose son was having a mental episode, who was shot on the scene, he doesn't think this is a token experience. Shame on us. Shame on us if we are unwilling to have a serious conversation about a serious issue that, in my opinion, is a greater threat to this nation than perhaps anything we've seen because we've never solved it, because we're all having political points. That's wrong. It's just not right. Let me say, Mr. President, to all my colleagues, Senator Langford, Senator Capito, Sass, Lindsay, Barrasso, Alexander, thank you. Thank you for giving voice to a serious issue.
Another thing about how perspectives change over time. Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, "I'm ashamed that I voted for the '94 crime bill." You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In fact, I drafted the bill, if you remember.
I know that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity.
I hear that, black folks.
We should focus on them now, not out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Mass incarceration has put hundreds of thousands behind bars for minor offenses. Joe Biden wrote those laws.
Every major crime bill that's come out of this Congress has had the name Joe Biden on that bill. We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
Joe Biden's policies destroyed millions of black lives. Joe Biden may not remember, but we do.
Joey, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Take a look at my record, man.
When I marched in the Civil Rights Movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others.
He had not actually marched during the Civil Rights Movement and kept telling the story.
I came out of the Civil Rights Movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
Now, his aides went back to say, look, he was in office marching for the idea.
That's not the word.
I was not out marching.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. They're gonna put you all back in chains. You ain't black.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black. You ain't black.
The most racist thing a person could tell me is that I'm supposed to choose something based on my race.
You ain't black.
We're red, white, and blue. That's right. He can run, but he won't be able to hide his record. He can run, but he won't be able to hide his record. But he won't be able to hide his record. We're red, white, and blue. That's right. We're American.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message. My administration will take all necessary steps to safeguard our citizens from this threat. Is it accurate that these steps have not been put in place for the 2 million people dead here in the United States? Yes. No matter how hard you try to stop us, you can't. Built the greatest economy the world has ever seen, and we're going to do it again. The invisible enemy. What the federal government did was a phenomenal accomplishment. Throughout all the world has witnessed the unyielding resolve of our incredible American people.
Thomas Paine, Thomas Captain.
And I'm fighting for you, and I love doing it with everything that I have. No matter, with the grace of God, we will win this war, and we will win this war. And we will make America great again.
Hey, y'all. Come on in. Come on. Come on a little closer. Because we got something to tell. That's right. Now, y'all know we just finished the last chapter of our book called Uprising. That's right. Which is due out on August the 18th. Go to diamondandsilkbook.com to pre-order right now. That's right. But wait. There's more. Now, we already know that old Jim Crow Joe said we ain't black. But the last time we checked, we black. That's right. And you know what? What? We have a message for old Jim Crow Joe. Just because we're black, it don't mean we have to vote Democrat. That's right. Maybe we can teach old Jim Crow Joe a thing or two. So in this book, we write about our truth. Our truth. And in case you forgot, let me remind you again. Yeah. The name of the book is Upright. Who in the hell says you can't ditch and switch? That's right. So we done already woke up America. Maybe it's time to wake up Jim Crow Joe and these Democrats. Maybe. Maybe it's time for you all to experience the awakening of Diamond and Silk. Maybe. So now, you don't get to judge us based on what somebody said about us. Now you can read it for yourself. That's right. So pre-order the book at diamondandsilkbook.com. That's diamondandsilkbook.com. y'all. Join us on Chattit. That's ChatDit.com. Chattit. ChatDit.com. We want to see your face in the place.
Yeah. Nope. Yup. Nope. Yup. Chit chat. I'm just messing. Oh, I got some more content to show. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes. Hold on for a sec. I definitely got some more content to show. I had a video that I did that was deleted. And I'm going to play through these again from this guy's Twitter account. His name is Rambo. Oh, you're going to love this. Yup, back to George Floyd. Okay, sure it is. Inappropriate to some audiences. I'm surprised it's still on YouTube. Let's see what's cracking with this. And the question I would ask is, do you see any nosebleeds in these videos? "13 minutes missing." Interesting. Alexander Kuhn. Kuhn. Or Kuhn. Making jokes about his name. trying to cover up some park police.
Alright, what's your name?
Good question. Putting a lot of black on the video. Why they all blacked out?
Good. Good. But you guys take out the car. Cigarettes? You got your personal items? Whose car is this? Okay.
Some Hollywood shit. Total.
Okay, just stay put, alright? I don't want anybody near this car.
guys see my partners, their names or no? Did you write it down? Okay, stay put, alright? Let's see what my partner does. We'll see what happens, alright? You guys just stay put, tell my partners to come back here. I see ID again. Let's stay further back. What's her name?
to say about that? Tomorrow or something. Y'all know that. You don't gotta sit there with your knee on his neck, bro. Okay, sure. You circling it like in a jiu-jitsu move, bro. You trapping his breathing right there, bro. Like, you don't think that what it is, bro? You don't think nobody understands that shit right there, bro? I train at the academy, bro. That's some bullshit, bro. Right, that's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit, bro. You fucking stopping his breathing right there, bro. Okay, it's hard to talk when you do that. Bro, but you get him off the ground. You been a bum right now. You get him off the ground, bro. You get him off the ground, you been a bum right now. He enjoying it.
And after all this is settled, you guys get demolished.
He enjoying that shit. He a fucking bum, bro. He enjoying that shit right now, bro. You could have fucking put him in the car by now, bro. He's not resisting arrest or nothing. You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language explains it. You fucking bum.
Come talk to my partner and see what's up.
They love women.
I already know that, bro. I train with African bro. You know that's bogus right now, bro. You know it's bogus. You can't even look at me like a man because you a bum, bro. He's not even resisting arrest right now, bro.
His nose is half down.
You fucking stopping his breathing right now, bro. You think that's cool? You think that's cool? Man, what's your badge number, bro? You think that's cool right now, bro? You think that's cool though, bro? You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. Hey, you getting mad? You're just sitting here stopping his breathing right now.
Look at him.
Now, bro.
Look at him. Get on him. What is wrong with you? What the fuck? He got next. He got next. He cannot hurry up. Get on him.
First of all,
Look at him.
He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, are you serious? Let me see your pulse. Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse.
Just safe for you guys.
Okay, check his pulse, Kyle. Kyle, check his pulse. Kyle, check his pulse, bro. Bro, check his pulse, bro. What is that? What is he saying? You doing okay? You call what you doing? You call what you doing okay, bro? You're firefighter.
Yes, I am from Minneapolis.
Bro, you think that's okay? Check his pulse. Check his pulse. Check his pulse. The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro. Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're definitely a bum, bro. Bro, he has not moved, not one time. Stop cracking up. But he's not. Go back to the store, bro. You understand? Okay, that's cool. Go back to the store, bro. He's not fucking moving.
I see that. I'm trying to help you out.
Bro, you don't need to help me out, bro. I know your parents. I know everybody that owns the store. You don't need to help me the fuck out, bro. He's not fucking moving right now, bro.
I just saw that, man.
Bro, he was just moving when I walked up here.
Stay put here. Alright, tell my partners to get out of there.
Get back out.
Figure things out, right? Yeah, bro. Right now, we're grabbing an ambulance for your body.
He's not fucking moving.
No, did they fucking kill him, bro?
Bro,
They killed him.
was you 1087, bro? You're a bum, bro. 1987, bro. You're a bum. First thing you want to grab is your mace because you're scared, bro. Scared of
fucking minorities, you fucking fuck, bro. Like, bro, 3 minutes, bro. It's not moving. Bro, he's not even fucking moving. Get off of his fucking neck, bro. Get off of his neck. Are you serious? Bro, are you serious? You gonna keep
He's stopping his breathing.
Stop breathing. Just stop the whole man breathing. You do outside the water.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna show something else too. Think that was bad. I'm gonna show you some trick camera work that they were doing. Where are the people?
Oh, he died and his nose bleeding. Where is the people now? Be kneeling on his neck. But where is the people that was taking the footage from over the car? Circulate the video. Nobody there. There you go. Nobody over here taking the fucking footage. Where was all that people that said come off his neck? Check if he got a pulse. Oh, he died and his nose bleeding. Where is the people now? I told you it's a hoax. Where is the people that was there touting the police officers to get off him? Where they at? Where's the ones that take the video? Dumbass. Nobody there, people. Nobody. I already told you, the first thing I asked, why the person with the camera didn't come around so we can see it from the next angle where we can see his whole body, and there you go, we get UFO style. I told you, they listen to the mag videos, pay attention. Circulate the video. What you gonna do about this now, people? Now that I put it out, that the people that were supposed to be recording it from this side is not there, what they're gonna do for the damage control, because they're gonna watch their police face. Who take the video from this side? Who was the people that talking to the police? Dumb the fuck.
While another stands over them. You can hear nobody inside. Nobody.
Oh, you get these shots right here now, people. How do you get this with nobody? I just show you that side. There's nobody there to take the film. Where was they standing? It's dumb shit for the dumb masses.
Officer who pressed his knee to police back is identified as Derek Chauvin.
People don't understand. This is all they do trickery now for the people.
Madness. Shit. Where are the people? Check this shit out right here.
Across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Okay, there you go, people. This is how they're gonna tell you that he get to the ground. Pay attention right here, okay? Alright, they take him off the car.
In surveillance video obtained by CBS News, a handcuff.
This car turning around, there go the light that they put right there. Take a look at this right here and pay attention.
Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this newly searched street toward a police car.
Nobody
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Wow, that's just a bad acting job from the flight character. Just pay attention right here. How he gonna throw himself to the ground. It's nothing but bullshit. And of course, all you're gonna get is fog in this fucking fake shit. Watch this right here.
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this.
Wow. And there you go, people. All four of them right here. Put it on. It's crap.
CBS News, a handcuffed Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Okay, there you go, people. This is how they're gonna tell you that he get to the ground. Pay attention right here, okay? Alright, they take him off the car.
In surveillance video obtained by CBS News, a handcuff.
This car turning around, there go the light that they put right there. Take a look at this right here and pay attention.
Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this newly searched street toward a police car.
Nobody
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Wow, that's just a bad acting job from the flight character. Just pay attention right here. How he gonna throw himself to the ground. It's nothing but bullshit. And of course, all you're gonna get is fog in this fucking fake shit. Watch this right here.
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this.
Wow. And there you go, people. All four of them right here. Put it on. It's crap.
CBS News, a handcuffed Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Okay, there you go, people. This is how they're gonna tell you that he get to the ground. Pay attention right here, okay? Alright, they take him off the car.
In surveillance video obtained by CBS News, a handcuffed.
This car turning around, there go the light that they put right there. Take a look at this right here and pay attention.
Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this newly searched street toward a police car.
Nobody
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Wow, that's just a bad acting job from the flight character. Just pay attention right here. How he gonna throw himself to the ground. It's nothing but bullshit. And of course, all you're gonna get is fog in this fucking fake shit. Watch this right here.
Street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall. In this.
Wow. And there you go, people. All four of them right here. Put it on. It's crap.
CBS News, a handcuffed Floyd is walked across the street toward a police car. In the distance, you can see Floyd fall.
Okay, there.
Of course, there's more too.
8:38. He is marched across the street by two officers.
Why is they would have marched with him all the way across and back and forth across the street? It's bullshit. There is a so-called car they take him out of. Why would they keep moving him all over the place? Park police, dumbass.
Several missing minutes go by without video. The timeline picks up.
Yes. Okay, so seven minutes passed away without video. Who was the one who recorded it? And I told you, we see the side, and there was nobody over here to record this shit. It's a hoax. 100%.
Video from a restaurant shows Floyd is not resisting as he's removed from the SUV. 8:38. He is marched across the street by two officers.
Why is they would have marched with him all the way across and back and forth across the street? It's bullshit. There is a so-called car they take him out of. Why would they keep moving him all over the place? Park police, dumbass.
Several missing minutes go by without video. The timeline picks up.
Yes. Okay, so several minutes passed away without video. Who was the one who recorded it? And I told you, we see the side, and there was nobody over here to record.
There's so much here, man. There's so much here, man. Oh, the black Latino reporter from CNN. This is the most hilarious right here. Oh my gosh. Look at this. You're supposed to be
Zimmerman with the Trayvon Martin. They actually switched to George Zimmerman. And then I'm looking at this shit like, this is some weird shit right here. Take a look at the guy right here, people. Take a look. He's the one that was kneeling on the neck of the so-called flight character.
Double character.
There you go, people. An old man. Look at the airline. Push all the way back. Ear scramble and everything. He don't even have no hair in the top of the head. All white beard, white hair. And that was before. Bam, this is after. Are you kidding me, people? Did they just switch them on your people right here? Watch this right here. Take a look at his face, people. He look way younger on this photo that take after. What happened to the pushback airline and the scrambled ear that was in the head? What happened, people? He got peel out head and everything. What happened?
Damn.
Take a look again.
Look a hell of a lot
look,
better.
You can see the skull through the hairline right there. You can see the M form in the head right there. What do you think, people? Take a look. They switch him. This is not the same guy.
No,
it can't be. There you go, people. Just like they give you in the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin bullshit, they switch him again. There you go, people. Is that the same guy? I must be off. Take a look at this face, people. Take a look at the hair. All white hair on the head. Right there. Take a look. It's a different guy. This photo is the latest photo of him. His so-called mugshot. Right there. There you go. How would this mugshot look younger than this right here, people? How?
Crazy.
You better wake your ass.
I know, right? Where's George Floyd? If that's even his real name. According to the porno he filmed it. Oh shit. I haven't checked this. I haven't gone too far on this thread yet. Uh-oh.
But I need y'all to pay attention to something that no one seems to be talking about. And this is the roughest part of the video. Yes, the man has already passed. But this is when they called the ambulance. Nobody seemed to take notice of something I noticed. Alright? So now they're pulling the gurney out right there, as you can see. Right, so I'm gonna get glimpses of this. But this, I want you to notice something. You're gonna come over. You see somebody somewhat check his pulse. They're still arguing with him. Just pay attention now. Now here's where it's at, what I'm talking about. When all this starts to happen, pay close attention to this. That man right there that you can see, that guy in the top of the screen, that's about to walk over to the man. He gets out the way. Just look at this. This man is touching him. Alright? Not the officer. The man with the watch on right there. I want y'all to pay attention to something to him. He has a bulletproof vest on. Right? He has an officer's uniform on. No one paid attention to that when the ambulance pulled in. Not one EMT got out of the vehicle. There's no medical equipment there whatsoever. That there were cops who jumped out of the back of that ambulance and picked up that man and put him in there, so they didn't even give him medical attention. And those were not the EMT. When they show them, look at that. Those are police officers. Those are armed police police officers are taking that man away.
Oh no.
There is no EMT on the scene. It's like it's a sham. They got an ambulance and put police officers in there and wouldn't pick that dead man up off the street. That was some straight bullshit.
Yeah, they know it is. They know it is.
Oh, fam, I know.
They know it is. Wow. Wow, they sure got some unusual uniforms for as EMS workers. Wow. Yeah, George Soros. That's what they do for a living. Who is paying the actors? Soros. Wow. Oh gosh. Yep. There it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whew. Wow. I thought there may be something more hold on, let me go back to this. I think it's this thread again. Yeah, that definitely was fake. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, there's a woman who said that this whole George Floyd thing is a hoax. This may very well be, and I would not be surprised. Let me see if I can find it. I think I did retweeted it. I'm not sure. But this woman in Minnesota, she's supposed to be running for some political seat. I think I may hold on for a second. I think I may have it in here. I might have it in here. Now, I hope I still saved it. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it's not this one. Definitely not this one. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's probably not on here. I think if I did save that, I may have deleted it by accident. But yeah, you might have to be patient for a minute, cause oh, she said this lady, she said that this George Floyd thing is a hoax. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and pull her up. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember her name. Hold on. Let's see. Minnesota. Black woman. George Floyd. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see here. Person running for political. God damn, if I can't spell, this thing fucking with me. George Floyd hoax. Here we go. It's a House candidate. It might be this one. Hold on, let's see. Yes, Winnie Headstrong. Here we go. Yes, she says that George Floyd's killer was a deep fake hoax. Yeah, they actually. It's interesting that they would even give this lady who's running for political office, running for a House seat, that much attention. Winnie Headstrong. It's a good chance of winning the Republican Party's nomination in August to challenge incumbent Lacey Clay. When she has repeatedly claimed on Twitter that Floyd's death in the custody of Minneapolis police was faked. A May video featuring Headstrong claiming that George Floyd is alive was widely shared among far-right conspiracy theorists. This one right here.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Winnie Headstrong. I'm running for Congress to represent Missouri, and I was born in Minneapolis. This hospital where George Floyd supposedly took his last breath is where I took my first breath, so I'm very concerned about what's happening right now in my home state. I wanted to ask a few questions, and the thesis of what I have to say today is George Floyd is alive, prove me wrong. I'm an academic, I've studied rhetoric. There's an actual department of rhetoric to study how to use words and reality toward your own advantage. We've studied Hitler's rhetoric. I studied all America's founding documents, going all the way to the Declaration of Independence and to President Trump's inaugural addresses. I even wrote a children's book on the president, and I have some things to say about what's happening right now in our country. I am part of the MAGA movement. There's a concerted effort to quash the MAGA movement, but that's not going to happen because there's a worldwide awakening, and people around the world are waking up. I have so much to say about this. So George Floyd supposedly is being choked to death, and he's crying out for his mom. We haven't heard anything about the mom. We haven't seen a family photo. We haven't seen any evidence of them together as a cohesive unit. Floyd might be a fake name for all we know. What I know for sure is that there is a Floyd's in South Minneapolis. That's a hot spot, a gathering place for African Americans in that city, and it's a barbershop. So if I was going to murder the psyche of a people, I would give this guy a Floyd name. John Floyd, George Floyd. I could get you 10 George Floyds by the end of the day. You know how you do it? You lure in a homeless man, you give him some drugs laced with poison, and you kill him. So that's Exhibit A, George Floyd, okay? The person that has been booked now, the photo of this Chauvin officer, is not the same person in the video who is strangling him. There are cameras from around the world gathered right now in Minneapolis, and there was no video evidence of this guy being arrested. So we're supposed to believe that the person that's in jail right now is the person we see in the video. Black America, y'all need to wake up and stop being so emotional. You need to stop crying, stop looting, stop burning, and start asking questions. There is no way that what we are seeing right now is a natural occurrence. Even in the video, you see behind the officer that the gas prices that are listed.
Exactly. Wow. Matter of fact, get on her Twitter. See if I can find some more on this, so I can find more on what she's saying. Cause she's speaking the truth right here. She's one of, Missouri. She's running for the Missouri seat. Wow. She's not running for a Minnesota seat. It's Missouri. No wonder why I couldn't find her.
So heinous that it shocked the nation, sparking protests, civil unrest, riots, looting, and anarchy. But did it really happen? Who was George Floyd? Who is Derek Chauvin? Is what we saw in the now infamous encounter in Minneapolis fact? Did it occur the way we had told that it did? And who or what was in the golden casket? The congressional candidate claims we're being played, and that what we witnessed is a giant psyop, and that she has the facts to back up her claims. Tonight, we'll ask her about it. Leave the world you think you know behind, and join us in the dark outpost. Good evening and welcome to Dark Outpost, exploring the darkest outposts of the human mind and beyond. I'm David Zublick, coming to you once again from an undisclosed location. Happy to have you with us tonight. We have been following here the story of George Floyd, the African-American who was allegedly killed by 4 Minneapolis police officers. Most importantly, an officer by the name of Derek Chauvin, who allegedly put his knee on the neck of Mr. Floyd, suffocating him during an arrest for what appeared to have been the passing of some counterfeit money. Up until now, the mainstream media has reported on this case as being one of racism and police brutality, resulting in protests across the United States and around the world for that matter. The entire George Floyd situation. We're going to bring Dr. Winnie Headstrong on the program in just a moment to discuss just that. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. But first, Father's Day coming up just this weekend, and posted far and wide. I want this information out there because I want the questions to be asked and I want them to be answered. Okay? All right. Right now, let's bring in our guest, Dr. Winnie Headstrong, who has some strong opinions about the alleged death of George Floyd. We welcome Dr. Winnie Headstrong to the Dark Outpost. Dr. Headstrong, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. David Zublick. I'm so happy to finally meet you online.
I am extremely excited to have you with us. Why don't we begin by telling our audience a little bit about Winnie Headstrong, who you are, and tell us a little bit about your campaign.
Sure. Before May 31st, May 31st, 2020, almost no one knew who I was. I was a completely anonymous private citizen. But that day, I felt really convicted about what had happened to my birth city, the city of Minneapolis, a really quiet, loving city in the middle of America that had been turned into a war zone overnight over the alleged killing of a man. And so I decided to put my voice, my persona, my family, everything about me on the line to defend my city. And I'm Winnie Headstrong. I'm a young woman. I'm 30 years old. I'm the same age as AOC. But she's on the left side. She's the person who wants to talk about cow farts and regulating eating of meat. I want to talk about saving America. I want to talk about saving democracy. I want to talk about preventing a hot war on American soil. So that's who I am. I hope to, get to know your audience even better throughout this hour. But for the rest of my political career, I was an academic for a little bit there while getting my PhD at the University of Maryland. But I started to see things even in academia that caused me to really double think whether or not I wanted to make a career there or step back and actually go into the public sphere. I had been behind many great candidates in my younger years, so my internships were all behind those candidates like Governor Tim Pawlenty of Maryland and Congressman Daniel Lipinski of Illinois. I worked in his office on Capitol Hill in 2009. And I just knew that at some point I wanted to be the candidate myself, which is why I finally jumped in.
Well, it's so good to see a fellow conservative speaking out about the most important issues. I've seen you with your MAGA hat on, and it's so good that you're behind our president, and we right off the bat, and we'll mention this a couple of times during the course of this interview, you're running for Congress from the state of Missouri?
Correct. I'm running for Congress to represent the state of Missouri, but specifically the city of St. Louis. That's Missouri's first congressional district.
That's awesome. And do you have a primary coming up, or what's happening?
I do have a primary on August 4th, and there we go, the 4 fingers.
There you go.
And it's shaping up to be a pretty respectable primary. My opponent reached out to me after he saw my video and said, "Winnie, what can I do to help you?" I mean, isn't that something? So we decided that we would set the example of what a civil primary should look like. And so I just want to throw a shout out to Mr. Anthony Rogers, who reached out and said, "You know what? It doesn't matter who gets in there. We just need to change our city, need to change the government of St. Louis, and you would be great, I would be great." So I salute Anthony for that.
That's awesome. That's what I call good politics and good patriotism, as a matter of fact. So that's awesome. And of course, if someone would like to donate to your campaign, how do they do that?
Please donate. I appreciate every dollar at winnieheadstrong.vote. winnieheadstrong.vote.
Okay, and we'll mention that again a few times during the broadcast. So other than being in academia, it sounds to me like, although you were a very active person politically, you didn't feel the necessity to get involved until this incident regarding George Floyd. Your home state is Minnesota. Then I take it. Minneapolis. Were you from Minneapolis?
That's right, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you saw this all play out on May the 25th. What was it when you saw this that struck you as odd? The reason I ask that is because obviously the mainstream media has been pushing a narrative that, this is what happened, that this Derek Chauvin and these 3 other police officers, took Mr. Floyd down, and that Derek Chauvin suffocated him, that he said he couldn't breathe and all that. When you were watching all of this play out, as some of us do in the alternative media, what struck you as odd about it, first of all?
Wow. So many things, but I'll start with the fact that Minnesotans are very nice people, David. When my family, my mom and dad, left West Africa to come to the United States, they were welcomed with open arms by the great people of Minnesota. When the Somali immigrants were leaving the refugee camps in Kenya and all of the Horn of Africa, all of the East African refugee camps, and were getting resettled in Wisconsin, in Minneapolis, in St. Paul, they were welcomed with open arms. Minnesotans are some of the nicest people that you will ever meet, and there's even a term for it. It's called Minnesota nice. That attitude that you get from the typical Scandinavian, where it's like, how's it going? I'm great. How are you? And it's always jolly and good. So the first thing that struck me was, where in the world is this attitude coming from, that someone would kneel on another person's neck, and my fellow Minnesotans would walk by and do nothing? And it just didn't seem right on that count to begin with. And then I started to piece together what other people had noticed. The fact that this happened after Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota had issued a safer at home order requiring some COVID-19 guidelines, such as the wearing of masks. I didn't see that from the police, not from George Floyd, not from anyone on the street. Also, the angles change like every second. You're getting a whole new angle on this incident, and it feels contrived. It doesn't feel like it's flowing naturally. The people in the background sort of jeering and saying, "Oh, you're gonna get fired, like what are you doing to him?" It felt a bit over the top. A typical reaction would have been more of like a gut feeling, almost like you want to jump in to save that man's life, and I didn't see that. So these are some of the little clues that got me thinking something's really off here.
Yeah, and that's what struck me as odd as well, because my family has shopped in Minneapolis before. We visited the great city. My wife and daughter have shopped a lot at the Mall of America. It's actually a beautiful city. I know some people that are from there. They say it's interesting because I live in Michigan, and in Michigan we get some cold weather, but nothing like you guys get in Minnesota. And I once had a gentleman tell me, he goes, in Minnesota, the actual temperature during the wintertime sometimes, not the wind chill, but the actual temperature, it's the 30 below. He says when it gets to 0, people are walking around in T-shirts. That's how they are. So we love the city, and it also is a big-hearted city with a lot of great people. You're absolutely correct. And that was the first thing that struck me as well. Why was this being videotaped or filmed, and nobody was interfering with what appeared to be on this tape, this police officer with his knee in the neck of this individual? And also, what struck me as odd is that the alleged police officer, Derek Chauvin, stared right into the camera while this picture was being taken. You would think that he would not do something like that, especially if someone was saying, stop it, or what are you doing? You're killing this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he looked at the camera and he smirked, and the so-called Asian American accomplice, his colleague, did that several times also. They all seemed perfectly calm, like, oh yeah, whatever, go away, we're trying to kill this man. So it just had me really thinking about, okay, something's off here, what's going on, what's the bigger picture? And that day that the video came out, I came across a Forbes News article that talked about the impact of deepfake technology and how it was going to change our political and civic life. It concluded saying that there are some serious ramifications here if deepfake technology becomes ubiquitous, meaning it's everywhere and anyone can do it. It gave some examples, about a viral video about Obama and another one on Mark Zuckerberg going viral, saying things that they really didn't say. The technology had created a simulation that caused them to say those things. I give the example. I had an interview yesterday with a gentleman in St. Louis, and I was telling him, the Queen of England is a very prim and proper woman. She has a really long record, about 70 years of serving her country or more. and she has video evidence of her at all kinds of events, praising people, eulogizing people, anointing people. Well, deepfake can take all of those images and create a whole new reality. And all of a sudden, we could get Queen Elizabeth saying the F word, and it's going viral. You know, the Queen would never say the F word. I mean, her whole career has been very proper. But I'm telling you that there's technology out there that can cause you. That I could get a deep fake right now, David Zublick killing someone, and you and I are right here in studio talking. But someone could use your image, your likeness, and manipulate that and create a false reality. And that's what my research has found. I've worked with some good experts around the world, really, David, because when my video went out, it went viral in Europe and in the United States. It actually went viral in Europe first before people in the US started, catching on to it. And I'll tell you why. It's because in Europe, they are further down the rabbit hole of liberal slavery. Because liberalism is really a slavery. I want you to work hard for your money, but I want to take 50% of it in taxes. I want you to drive your car, but I want to regulate you on how much gas you can put in it, what kind of gas you can put in it. You can have a home, sure, but you need to get those solar panels, or you're a terrible person. You can drive a car, but it has to be ethanol driven, or it has to be an electric car. That is liberalism. It is really just a mental slavery, trying to get people to adhere to some false sense of moral superiority, but enslaving them in the process, basically forcing them to adhere to your guidelines. So Europe is further down that path. I got people in Spain reaching out saying, hey, we are translating your video into Spanish and it's going viral in Spain. I have a good friend now in Slovakia. He says your video is being played on InfoWars in Slovakia. I have other people who have reached out to me from Eastern Europe, from the UK, from Ireland, just saying, you know what, that Black Lives Matter agenda in the US, they're trying to just take the same case and apply it to Europe and tell Black Irish people that now they're suddenly oppressed. The globalists are so lazy. They do one viral event, right? They try and murder this guy, George Floyd, on camera, and they don't even try to maybe say, like, let's murder, Sean Peters in Ireland or in Dublin. They just take George Floyd and they spread it around the world, play it on all their syndicated mainstream sources, and hope that the same angst that African Americans feel when watching that video will translate abroad. It hasn't, really. What has happened is that you've gotten Irish people so irritated that, like, Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with Ireland. Why are you guys pushing this narrative on us? So they've actually irritated the people of Europe, and they're just now wanting to help America figure out what happened. They're talking to me saying, I want to help you, Dr. Winnie. Tell me, where should I go to find information so we can put this report together? Because if America stands strong, if you guys figure out this case, then Europe will stand strong, because the narrative of Black oppression won't be transported or transferred over to Europe. So Europe actually caught on to this message first, and even other mixed race countries like South Africa. South Africa has this history of apartheid that they've tried to come out of with Nelson Mandela's help. But in very recent history, talking 2010 on, the last 10 years, there's actually been a trend of reverse racism, where white South Africans are actually very scared for their lives, they're scared for their property. And so my video actually went viral too in South Africa, where they're saying, hey, we understand that there's some, racial division issue in the US, but don't transport it to South Africa now, because we have our own issues and we're trying to sort them out. So really, this case has peeled off a layer of all kinds of emotion around the world. It's really been not just an American gaslighting, it's been a global gaslighting. And my job, in the midst of all of that, by the grace of God, by His inspiration, has been to say, okay, wait up now. I don't buy it, and luckily for all the evil people in the world, I'm ready. I'm at a point where in my life I'm done, having kids for now. I have my 3 children, my husband's great, my family life is great. I'm ready to jump into the public discussion, and here comes this terrible event. I'm like, well, I might as well jump in right now.
Well, that's excellent. So, how long after the incident occurred did you post that YouTube video?
The incident occurred on May 25th, and I posted my video on May 31st. So it was Sunday, May 31st, the same day that supposedly Derek Chauvin was arrested and that booking photo came out. Right? You remember that? I thought to myself, this is really highly ridiculous. And I included in my video that the person I saw in the arrest video does not look anything like the person that has been booked. So what exactly is happening? And at the time, because I had limited information and I was going with really a gut feeling, I had suggested that George Floyd is alive. I said, George Floyd is alive, America, prove me wrong. And people started to do their research. It really opened up an avenue for people to question. Because when you have a prevalent media narrative that is telling you someone has been murdered, telling you white Americans are evil, telling you that we have a history of racial oppression that we can never heal from. David, I'm not denying America's history, but I'm saying we can move past it. We can forgive each other, we can look to Jesus, and we can move past these terrible things that your ancestors and my ancestors had to go through. But the mainstream media, the leftist elite, they want us to be perpetually guilty. Guilty forever. You can never be innocent. You can never be freed of it. Oh, your grandpa did it? Well, you're guilty too. And I'm saying, no, we need to give room for growth, room for redemption, room for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
And so that photo really was a turning point too in my thinking. I'm like, this isn't right.
So when your video went viral, and of course I saw it and I was very impressed by it, and I tried getting a hold of you ASAP because I wanted to talk to you, and I'm so glad you're being so gracious with your time. It was before you actually did the research. At that point, it was just a gut feeling. You had seen the arrest, the booking photo of.
Oh, sorry. God damn it. Shit.
Derek Chauvin, allegedly. And you're right. The first thing that I noticed about that photograph is that the individual in that arrest photograph doesn't look at all like the guy that was having his neck on the, his knee on the neck of George Floyd. So at that point, what did you do? You decided, I'm going to now do some research on this and follow up on this video and gather some evidence to show that what I'm saying makes sense.
At that point, I was frustrated with all of Black American leadership. I love my dear sister, Candace Owens. I love all the good people in that movement, Brandon Tatum, Terrence Williams. All of them are great people, but what had happened is that whoever is behind this had primed Black leadership by first putting out the Breonna Taylor case, and then putting out the Ahmaud Arbery case. And then by the time George Floyd's case came along, Black American leadership stopped thinking. Everyone was in their emotions. It's like, oh, I just can't believe that this would happen. Even Candace, I had to call her out in that video. I said, Candace, stop crying. What are you crying about? Okay, have we done the research? Have we tried to figure out if there is some truth to this or if this is another hoax? And that was really, I think, a shining moment for me. I think the Lord sort of reserved me to be able to speak at that point because all of leadership in the Black conservative movement was crumbling. And so that's where part of my motivation came from. I was really trying to slap them up, slap them awake,
Right.
And trying to get them to say, it's bad, it looks bad, but can you take a step back? Can you ask some questions? Can you figure out if this is real, if it's not real? Can you figure out if, okay, maybe he was strangled but he didn't die? Is it possible that he was revived in the so-called ambulance? Can we just ask questions? And I'm so proud of Candace because she bounced right back and she started being logical again. She started saying, okay, let's look at his criminal record. I don't support a criminal, which is, I think it's a really reasonable thing to say. There's nowhere in the books where we have to embrace someone who has a criminal record or someone who so-called pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's belly. Yeah, no. I'm not throwing a 5-city funeral tour for this person. I will mourn them and I will bury them with honor and respect, but what we saw was really an over-the-top ceremonialization of this man. I mean, Nancy Pelosi presented him and his family a folded American flag, something that's reserved for actual military who lose their life and their families, for the families of those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, the sacrifice of their life. They died for you and me to be free. And yet we have it being given almost like as a joke. I mean, I'm not buying that, David. So that's where that video motivation came from. It was really a wake-up call to get people out of their emotions. Because what happened to Black America, we started crying. While white America and the other races, they started feeling guilty. You know, it shut down everyone's thinking ability. Everyone got in their emotions of, oh, I'm so guilty. My ancestors, you know, had slaves, and oh, white guilt. You know, I'm like, stop being guilty. You weren't even born. You were not even alive when some of these things were happening. You should feel sorry for it, but